What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the 6th Invitational Dev Panel Series. I am Justin Kruger, your host, community developer on Rainbow Six Siege, and I welcome in a amazing panel of guests. But before we get to our guests, I just want to explain a little bit about what we're going to go into here. Once again, it's a high-level look at our new map, Coastline, that is going to be arriving for free on February 7th. And we have some level designers here, and of course, Punjistick. But also to my left is our amazing cosplayer and tactical realism expert, Manny. What's up, Manny? How you doing?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having us, Justin. My name is Manny Andres. I'm a member of ACTRA. In 2006, I founded a company named TPR Consulting, where we bring authenticity and realism to the movie video gaming industry. So we consulted on the motion capture during the cinematics of Rainbow Six. And we're proud to be here. We're having a lot of fun. We're happy to be supported by companies like Morgan Industries, Defense Textiles, Adventure Lights. So what I really like about Ubisoft and the Rainbow Six Siege, what they've done is they came to us, asked us for the real thing, and that's what the fans are getting.
That's great, man. And you guys look like the real thing. That's really awesome. Give a round of applause for these guys because they are awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. Really cool and really awesome. Now, getting back to our map teaser, Coastline. Miles, what is Coastline? Where are we going in Velvet Shell?
Yeah, well, last time, as we saw, we went to Japan. This time we're going off to Spain, off the coast. We're going to Ibiza. And in Coastline, you're going to have this, in the exterior, you're going to have this naval defense fort from the 17th century. And this will be juxtaposed with the interiors of Coastline, which will be like this nightclub party thing. So in the daytime, you're going to have like Mediterranean weather, hazy suns, and in the at nighttime, you're going to see the clubs, you know, so neon lights and glows and things like that.
Nice. Now, I think we have some spawn points that we're going to look at, right?
Oh, yeah, but before that, I'm just going to tell you a quick thing about the story.
Sure.
So there was an anonymous threat that came about this club, and so the local authorities have decided to contact the Grupo Especiales de Operaciones, and they're going to come in and clean it out.
Nice.
But now we're going to head to spawn points. I'm going to pass it to Naj.
Sure. Yeah, we have a 3 spawn point map with this new map. Basically, you have 3 different approach. The main entrance is the one that is going to be the safest, accessible by foot, but it's the one that gives you less rappel and less entry points into the building. So the next one we're going to see is the poolside. Poolside is a more dangerous one in terms of verticality, and you have to go with a cover-to-cover approach to reach the building.
So less opportunities for spawn kills, right?
Oh, no, definitely. We always look to prevent spawn kills. And the last one, and it's my favorite, it's the ruin. Not only looks cool, but it gives you a really nice sniping spot from the get-go. But the rest of it is mostly a pretty classic rainbow approach, but the sniping spot is really the value here.
So glass mains are going to be really excited about that, aren't they? Yeah, cool. Now, Punji, you got a chance to play a little bit on Coastline. What are your thoughts on the approach into the map?
So far, I'm really excited to learn the map. It's been really exciting. I feel like I'm a lot louder than everybody else. No, it's a very clean art style compared to a lot of the other maps, and so where a lot of times you could kind of blend in with a lot of backgrounds, I feel this one, target acquisition is going to be super fast. People are going to be spotted really, really easily, while the outside of the map's really busy, which gives a lot of opportunity for Val cams, things like that, to be really well concealed.
Nice.
So,
yeah. Cool.
That's good.
Well, that is awesome. Now, Naj, we're going to take a look at some of the beauty shots of Ibiza in Coastline because it really is beautiful. Naj, tell us how this map is a little bit different from others.
So, well, the main focus of this map and how it was built is around the central courtyard. So, what's interesting about this is that it's a really high-risk, high-reward zone. You can transition really fast, but you're really exposed, which leads me to what think the dynamic of this map is interesting is we have long line of sight in the middle of the map while having short line of sights on the perimeter. So it's really interesting to, it's going to make like the central of the map really, really dangerous.
Nice. So all of this control is really centered on that central area, right? Because you're going to be able to see into the interior, but it's also almost like an exterior within the system.
It's a really fast transition.
Yeah, and you can rappel into the bomb sites, right? From that.
And not only that, but jump straight down onto a platform that can get you right into the second or the first floor with quick speed and minimal impact.
Yeah, so there's going to be many different ways that you're going to be able to approach the objective point other than just your typical rappel and breach.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, going on to the bomb sites, are they kind of more difficult to defend or easy to defend?
Well, we always try to make a balanced bomb site. We have our formula where, like, for reinforcement, entry points, the size of the rooms. So it's a pretty classic and really balanced in terms of bomb site. But the thing is, as well, we always try to bring different strategies, possibility of strategies into those bomb sites. So and make them all viable. So you can bunker, you can roam, you can play as you want, and that's what we would like to see. Like, see the team express themselves and see how they play how they want, and it's still viable.
And one of those ways that you're providing players an ability to express themselves is through the destructible floors, right?
Yeah. The whole second floor is going to be.
What is it, 4 drops all over that?
Yeah, there's 4 hatches and a lot of line of sight floors, so it's going to be really interesting to see.
Nice. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about the development process. Miles, how do you? I mean, we're looking at these beautiful, beautiful shots of La Perla Blanca in Coastline.
It's my future home.
It's your future.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's,
All of it.
I need like
no. That's just your summer.
I need like 500,000 more subs on Twitch, but it's my future home. Sorry.
So Miles, how do we get to that point?
Yeah, sure. So in level design, what we usually do is we start with a 2D plan. So we start by mapping out all the areas and the architecture. So we have to do some research into other structures that have been built that way. And once we have done this, then we start building in 3D. And that's done with dev textures and grayscale maps. And that's done to really test out the gameplay first and make sure that everything is well balanced. There's lots of different strats. And from there, we bring in the artists, and they help make it very pretty.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention, there's like a kick-ass map production team behind all those maps.
Are they responsible for the pool table?
Oh yeah, no, it's not only level design. There's like sound, FX, modeling, lighting,
textures,
The pool table?
Yeah.
With the playable pool?
No, like honestly, there's a huge team that to bring the level of quality that we bring on these maps. There's a really nice, like, big team behind us, and
Yeah, and it's a big team effort to make this happen.
yeah.
Nice. Really huge shout out to everybody that works on level design and your team, because they are so strong at what they do. And I mean, you guys really are kind of like architects, right? You start with a blueprint, then you build basically grayscale models, and
Yeah, definitely,
and then sort of tweak the balancing. How do you make sure that's balanced?
Well,
Like,
I mean, the architecture is one component. It's to make sure that it feels very credible, and gameplay is the other component. And that takes a lot of playtesting, feedback, and from there we iterate on the map until we feel it's right.
Nice. Now, Punjistick, how did you feel about the balance of the map going into it?
I mean, on a game like Siege, where there are so many things developed by players with so many different imaginations, it's really hard to say after only a couple hours playing it. But so far, it's felt great. Like like Skyscraper's been a project to learn. I've had a really hard time with that one. But this map already, I feel a lot more comfortable roaming around it and trying to figure it out. It definitely seems like it has a lot of opportunities to take advantage of the new operators, especially Mira.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
for
especially
sure.
with Mira creating those line of sights where you can see right down one of those long hallways.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Really interesting to see how players are going to be playing on this.
Okay,
now,
we'll see.
moving on to like how it feels competitively. Do you feel as though this might be a competitive map?
Well, then again, it's always the players and the teams that's going to make the decision. But we always try to put a playground that is good for that. And we try to bring, like I said earlier, a good map, I feel, is when you can play the way you want and it still be viable. So hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully.
and the intention is always to make it competitive, but we need as much feedback as we can get from playtesters, pro players. Those are the ones that give us the best info.
And then the community in general as well, on Reddit, sharing their opinions.
Absolutely.
We always look at everything that you guys post, and nothing goes
All of it.
unnoticed.
Yeah,
all,
we go
everything,
through it.
everything
all
posts.
of it.
Now, Punjistick used to be in the competitive scene as a pro league caster. Do you feel as though there's going to be certain competitive elements that pro players will like on this map?
Oh, definitely. I mean, like we talked about before, the coolest part I've seen with this map is this new patch, this new season is clearly trying to bring defenders back towards the base and give them advantages for playing their base, while bringing the attackers into trying to close in more on the defense sites. But the map allows for a lot more roaming and a lot more moving around, so there's going to be the trade-off of, well, do I make the high-risk roam now, or do I use all of the new buffs and features that will make me much more protected on the bomb site?
Yeah,
so competitively, it will be, yeah.
Super interesting.
Yeah,
cool.
for sure.
Awesome. So that is Coastline, a teaser of Coastline coming your way on February 7th. But tomorrow, you'll be able to see Punjistick and all of our other awesome community members and Twitch streamers.
Oh, we'll find everything wrong with it in that match tomorrow.
Yeah, playing that tomorrow
please
in the afternoon, right around 1:30 p.m. So make sure you tune into that show match. Awesome. Also, with Velvet Shell coming on February 7th, we have a slew of new improvements, as well as a new homepage, which is the first thing that you're going to be able to see that is completely new in Rainbow Six Siege. Here we have, to start off, your personalized home screen, your personalized play button that remembers your last mode that you played, so you will have an easier way of getting back into the game. You'll also have a dynamic challenge system, so you'll be able to track your challenges easier, and on the screen it will actually show your progress. And then you'll also have an easier way of managing your renown boosters, as well as a direct button that will show you all the new content, a direct button that leads you right to the Ubisoft Club, and an easier button that shows the news in a better light, so that we can communicate with all our players so much more easier. So that is all the time that we have. Stay tuned for the Xbox One semifinals coming right up. We've seen some incredible action. That last Continuum match was insane.
That was nuts.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the most exciting.
That was a
matches.
final in and of itself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be hard for the actual final to bring as much hype as that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, thank you so much to
Thanks,
our
Justin.
senior level designers, Naj and Miles, and of course, thank you so much to our community leader, our awesome community leader, Punjistick.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Can we just thank each other all day?
Yeah, just for the rest of the stream. All right, perfect.
So where can they find you, Punji?
Twitch.tv/Punjistick.
All right.
There it is.
Check them out. Cool. And once again, thanks to our operators in cosplay back here. Cool.
Thanks, guys. You look great, by the way. You do.
Stick around. You don't want to miss the action coming up just after this.